All right, Rob, let's get into it. Game 5 tonight, and you know how pivotal Game 5s are in playoff series that are tied at 2-2, and that's what we have tonight in these NBA Finals in Golden State. So Golden State has regained home court advantage, but Boston is a team that has never lost this season after a loss. In fact, Rob, they haven't lost back-to-back games since January.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens tonight. Momentum, you would say, is with Golden State, but honestly, Rob, I don't think there's any such thing as momentum in this series, or to be honest, in almost you could say in playoff series in general anymore in the NBA. Not all of them, but a lot of the high-level playoff series where you got these really good teams, it just seems like what you think one team's got the upper hand, and it changes game to game. And so we got a great one tonight, but we have a great one tonight, Rob, because we had such a wonderful game by Steph Curry Friday night in Game 4. And you and I and many others have said, I have been one to say, and I stand by it, that Steph has been far better in the finals than people give him credit for. You know, I think he already should have a finals MVP. But while he had some good games, and I even think a couple of great games, and one being Game 5 in 2015 when he dropped 37-17 in the fourth quarter of a pivotal game against the Cavs in that series that was also tied 2-2. But I could go along with those that said, you know, he hasn't had that moment that you just remember, Rob. Like Michael Jordan obviously had tons of them. You know, the shrug game when he hit all the three-pointers and 35 points in the first half. There was the game against Utah, the Brian Russell. He hit the jumper over Russell. You could go on and on with Jordan. Kyrie, the shot, right, in 2016. Isaiah Thomas, 25 points on a sprained ankle in one quarter. They didn't even win that game. And Rob, I think you would agree with me, for all Isaiah Thomas did in the finals, which was win 2 of them, win a finals MVP, and I think he averaged 27 points when he won it in 1990 against Portland. The one moment that we remember most about Isaiah is that quarter in a game he lost because he did it on a bad ankle. Allen Iverson, Rob, Game 1, 2001 against Kobe and Shaq. 48 points, and they upset the Lakers. The only game they won in the series, but we remember that. We think of Iverson and that moment. And Rob, I think Steph, I don't even feel comfortable saying I think. I know now Steph Curry's got that moment. And it was Friday night, 43 points, 10 rebounds, as generally the smallest guy on the floor. 6'3", 10 rebounds. But huge game, big shot after big shot, and really carried the Warriors. No other player scored 20 points on the Warriors. 2 of his starters, Draymond Green and Otto Porter, scored 2 points apiece. This was all Steph. And you know, guys played well, don't get me wrong, but as far as scoring the ball, he obviously carried the load. And this was his moment, I believe. I think the best game of his career when you count the stakes. Finals, nearly a must-win, best defense in the league, so on and so forth. But, Rob, for all of that, there are people going even further than me. And they are saying that at this point, Steph, not at this point, but now, they're saying, look, win or lose, Steph Curry's the finals MVP. Win or lose, he's his finals MVP. Magic Johnson has said it. Kendrick Perkins has said it. There have been articles in The Athletic that have said it. Bleacher Report that have said it. There is a bit of a groundswell for that, Rob. And that's what I want to ask you about. I don't think he should be finals MVP if they lose. And I want to know where you're at on that.
Yeah, I think it's preposterous and ridiculous because the series is knotted at 2-2. Steph had two of the first 3 games. He had a total of 6 points in the fourth quarter. He went scoreless the final 6.5 minutes in game one, which was one of the biggest turnarounds in the history of NBA Finals. Team up 12 going into the fourth quarter, and they lose by 12. So as much as he's played well, and obviously game four he played great, there are those moments where things didn't go great for him either. I just think it's a prisoner of the moment, and people just want to pile on. If he comes out and has a goose egg tonight, Chris, or not a goose egg, but he has a bad shooting night, and they lose game five at home, don't tell me that those same people are going to say he's the MVP of the finals no matter what. I just don't buy that. I think it's way premature and overstated. I don't understand the rush to want to crown somebody in the middle of a 2-2 series. This series ain't over. You just brought up the stat about the Celtics and what they've done and how they've come back, Chris. And
but I think that's the point, Rob. Nobody's saying the series is over. They're saying over or not. It's Steph.
If he has 4 points tonight, I'm asking you.
I think people are saying if he continues. Nobody's saying if he has 4 points or
but it says win or lose. Win or lose, he's the MVP. How is it win or lose?
I'll tell you how. It's implied. This is the implication. It's understood, that if he keeps playing this way, he averages 34 for the series, and Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown continue to be the best players on the Celtics, but basically do what they're doing, which is nothing ultra exciting. They're both playing solid, but neither of them really playing up to their standard, especially Tatum. People are saying he should be the finals MVP. If they lose in 6 or 7, but Steph keeps balling individually like he is, he should be finals MVP. I'm saying if they don't win it, even if he keeps doing what he's doing and more, no.
Okay, all right, you're saying that, but the people saying...
Rob, of course they're not saying if he scores 12 points tonight, he should be finals MVP.
If they lose tonight and he doesn't make any big shots or he has a chance and it doesn't happen, it would be ridiculous to even have
of course
that.
It would. But what if he has 40 tonight and they lose?
Yeah,
that's the conversation.
But he still wouldn't be MVP if they lose and he had 40.
But these people are saying that's what I'm.
I totally disagree. I think we have to wait to find out how this thing plays out. It's 2-2. A lot can happen. Jason Tatum has struggled. Chris shooting 43% in the finals. What if he goes off?
33%. 34%.
34%, I'm sorry. What if he goes off in the last 2 games and turns in a 40-piece in game 4, 5, and 6, and they win the championship? People wouldn't have that. They would be like the series was tied and Tatum went off and they won the championship. It would be a total different. That's why it doesn't matter what Steph would do.
I'm with you.
Okay.
But I'm saying, I think the question is, should a guy be able to win the finals MVP if his team loses?
I say no way, no how. No, I'm not buying it.
Now, I don't know if I'm 100%. I mean, but I'm saying what I would say, Rob, is the performance. First of all, the series would have to go 7. The team that lost, it would have to be something crazy, like a last-second shot. They lose. It has to be a really close game, and they lose. And the one guy on the losing team was so just utterly phenomenal, and no one on the winning team was special. Like, that would be the only way I'd even consider it. And Steph, as great as he's been, and it certainly was great as he was in Game 4, I agree with you. He hasn't been, it's not like he hasn't really been better than LeBron James in 2015.
Right.
Or LeBron even in some of those series where they got demolished by Golden State, right? And we can point to guys that have been great or the best player in a series in the finals and lost. And you pointed it out. Steph hadn't been big in the fourth quarter up until Game 4. Steph, had just hadn't. So I'm with you, Rob, that I think it's disrespectful to the winning team to give the finals MVP to a player from the losing
I
team.
agree with you 100%. I just, because if you win, Chris, then I get it. That's all fine and well. It doesn't matter. Like, if the other team does enough to win, you could have, we've seen it, have 50 and lose, all right? And it don't feel, as the player, you
Not
don't feel,
in the finals.
you don't feel
right?
great. Right.
It ain't a regular season game.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just, I just think in the finals, it's all about winning. And that's why, Rob, I'm not as big on finals MVP as some people. Because I'm like, man, if I was in the finals, I'm like, let's just win. Period. James Worthy was never the best player on the Lakers. He was finals MVP one year. Cornbread, we talked about him last week. Finals MVP. Wasn't better than Larry Bird.
Was that for waving the towel? Or no, that wasn't waving.
That was ML Carr.
Oh, I'm always thinking of ML Carr. ML
Right.
Carr, man, he was the towel waver,
Yeah,
Hall
he
of
was
Fame, Chris. Am I right?
Extraordinaire.
Yes.
Absolutely.